there's always hope, there's always tomorrow. So never give up. Don't let adversity stop you.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you're just
Logan
Crawford.
Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're sharing the inspiring story of a frontline physician who turned fear, grief, and uncertainty into a message of strength and spiritual resilience. The name of the book, My COVID-19 Diary, Practical Tips and Scriptures for Improbable Times from an American Doctor. It is written by one of my favorite guests, one of my favorite authors. Her name is DrTheresaYWee, MD. And in the book, she blends her medical expertise with daily reflections of hope, faith, and survival during one of the most turbulent eras in modern history. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Books to Life Marketing for helping us put her on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure turning back the hands of time to 2020. It was such an awful time, particularly in the early part of the pandemic. You didn't know the disease you were fighting, really. You didn't know how contagious it was. Treatments were, a guess in many ways at best. Take us back to that time and what it was like for you as a physician.
Running my private practice and being a physician, we were so scared. We were frightened. And then all of a sudden we're in lockdown and the entire world is in lockdown. And it was a very scary time for all of us. And I just started writing on the first day of lockdown. I started writing a daily journal because I just thought I wanted to put my feelings down, and it helps me to, reflect and get a perspective on everything. And so then I decided to put the daily blogs on social media. And lo and behold, many family and friends started reading it and giving me comments as well as my patients. And so it encouraged me to continue writing daily blogs. And yeah.
So it was your way of coping, a way of digesting things, a way of spreading some information about this mystery disease. My best friend is a doctor. He's around retirement age. And I said to him, maybe this is the time to quit. I said, you don't know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people on ventilators and, what if,
Yeah.
and he said to me, Logan, this is what I trained for my whole career.
Right.
This is
And
not the
and
time to quit.
right. And I'm a pediatrician, so we still had babies being born. So newborn babies had to be seen. And yet we were afraid to bring in sick people with COVID, sick
Yeah.
children into our office. So we actually, evaluated the kids out in the car. I mean,
Mm.
everything was very scary. And every morning I would wake up thinking, is today the day I'm going to get COVID
Yeah.
and die? Is
Yeah.
today the day my staff will get COVID and die? It was something where we really did not have enough of the protective mask. We had to reuse mask, and it was very scary.
Oh. It's crazy that there wasn't enough PPE, I believe they were calling it at
Yes.
the time. You would think there would be an abundance of that just in case there was a pandemic, but we definitely got caught flat-footed. Nobody knew what they were dealing with, and everybody improvised. You were
Yeah.
improvising by seeing babies out in the cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I just felt that there was so much fear and just frustration that I said, I want to provide something comforting and encouraging. And, you know, every day something would come into my mind as to what I was feeling. and I would put it down and say, this is what I'm doing to stay mentally or physically healthy. And I would encourage you to try that. And I wanted to end it with a scripture as I looked through my Bible and really wanted to have something comforting. I even had non-believers looking in the Bible. So some of the words were very comforting for them.
Absolutely. It's a time when you find your faith. If you've drifted
Yes.
away, you start realizing there is a higher power, there is a higher purpose, there is
Yes.
eternity, and you do turn to your faith or find your faith, as I said. Talk to us a little bit about your faith and how it guided you through both professional and personal challenges.
I don't know why, but when I was 8 years old, I wanted to become a doctor. I read an autobiography of Elizabeth Blackwell, the first woman doctor, and my whole life has been medicine,
Mhm.
and I feel that there was so much coincidences that happened that pushed me toward being a doctor, and I even married a physician. Unfortunately, after 30 years of marriage, he died suddenly, unexpectedly. But again, I had to pick myself up and figure out who I was after he died. We were together in undergraduate and medical school. We were always a couple, and so really my faith in God was really strengthened. I was down in the pit and I said, God, if you exist, show me the way. And I was able to pick myself up and move forward and been able to do some amazing things. And I'm just, I said, God, just show me what you want me to do. And
It's
that's,
hard. It's hard. I mean, you're with somebody decades. You
yes,
study together, you live together, you work together. It's like losing half of yourself.
it really is.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like losing half of yourself because it's you're blessed to be that close with someone, and then when you lose them, it's immeasurable, the loss. And thank God for your faith to give you strength during that time. And I think that's the prevailing theme of this book is resilience,
Yes.
and carrying on, and enjoying the life that we're blessed with. Talk to us a little bit about how you find the resilience, how you find the will to keep on going, to keep on working through pandemics, and keep on striving.
I think what's important is you have to really look around and seek the good around you. Sometimes we always look at what we don't have, but there's good all around you.
Mhm.
And, try to find support, try to find positive feelings, go for a walk in nature, you know, um, listen to good music, watch an inspiring movie. So I think that it's important to reach out to people. We're not alone in this journey of life. And I think it's so important for us to really hold hands and help each other get through this journey of life, through both good and bad times.
I mean, COVID was the worst of times and the best of times, to
Yes.
paraphrase Charles Dickens, because, we saw death and,
Yeah.
destruction
Loss. Uh-huh.
and loss. Yeah. But we also saw, people rising to the occasion, helping
Yes.
neighbors, checking in on people, being kind,
Yeah. And
becoming
reconnecting.
unplugged,
Yeah.
reconnecting. Yeah. Yeah.
Reconnecting with families. And
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in daily walks with my husband. We never did that before.
Yeah.
So So I think this book, you can just pick it up and really find something encouraging and hopeful,
Mm.
and perhaps the scriptures might help. But definitely as a mother of four and now a
Yeah.
grandmother of five, there are practical tips that the whole family can do together.
What are some of those practical tips to strengthen and endure and to be resilient?
I talk about putting your phones down and
Mhm.
just spending 5 minutes at the dinner table or at the end of the day, just looking at each other and speaking to one another.
Yeah,
We don't do that enough,
yeah.
and have family meals, make it a tradition to have a Saturday or Sunday family meal. Um, I talk about doing chores together, then everyone can go out and celebrate and have a family activity. So I'm all about getting that family bonded and parents really becoming more coherent and understanding their role.
Exactly. Be a little bit more like we were during COVID. You know, we cooked a lot of dinners, we had a lot of
Yes,
conversations, we took a lot of walks, and we did kind of discover a different joy in life. You know, suddenly we weren't going to work anymore. I mean,
yes,
obviously for a lot, you were working through it. I wasn't able to work. It was a tough time, but I connected with my wife on a different level, like you connected with your husband, just by
yes.
it just being me and her in lockdown. You
In
know, I think some
lockdown,
couples
yes.
didn't endure it. I think some couples broke up. She and I definitely got stronger because we got to understand each other a little bit more, and it
But
was
I
very,
wanted to
very
say that the
helpful.
seniors have really been very appreciative. Many of my readers have been seniors who felt very isolated, and they told me how the book really helped them find comfort, encouragement to continue moving forward.
Absolutely. What scriptures sustained you most during your darkest moments?
I would have to say, um, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you. And the Lord wants you to prosper and plans to give you hope in a future. So there's always hope, there's always tomorrow. So never give up. You know, don't let adversity stop you. And we can always emerge better through our adversity. There are always lessons to be learned through our struggles.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like we said before, it could be the best of times, it can be the worst of times.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for families who are still recovering from the long-term effects of COVID? I think, you know, depression, I think education was hit. A lot of people are still isolated after the lockdown.
I want families to know that you know, just kind of sit down together and really have that conversation. If you need to seek help, don't be ashamed to seek help for family counseling. Um, Talk to your pediatrician or family doctor because it you don't want to just stay isolated. I want people to get up and move into action. There's always hope and encouragement out there. So reach out to a pastor, a priest, reach out to family. You know, people are there ready to help. So I encourage many of my parents to just sit down with their children and check in on them and see what's going on. Even your teenager, you know, just put down your phones and turn off the TV and just talk to one another. Because I think when we communicate, I think that that's very powerful, and we're losing our means of our ability to communicate effectively. So
It's so disheartening when you're talking to someone and they're like this. You
yeah,
know, like imagine if I was talking to you right now. And it's like,
yeah,
doctor, tell me what COVID was like.
yeah,
You know, it's amazing. This is a huge distraction. It's, you know,
yeah,
it's playing on our brains. It's giving us little shots of dopamine here and there. And it really is addictive, and we've got to stop. And
yeah,
to become unplugged is a great thing. Limit it. You know,
yeah.
you're
And
at the office 9 to 5, phone 9 to 5, and that's it. You know,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
But one of the things is just eating healthy, getting enough sleep, having routines, because then your body will start to recover and regenerate. Our bodies are magnificent, so understand that healthy habits really do make you feel better.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wellness is a goal. I
Yes,
think we're talking more nowadays about health span rather than just lifespan, that we want
exactly.
to live to be an old age, but we want to be able to do things. We want to be vital. We want to have our brains. We want to be able, you
Right,
know, if we're
right,
incapacitated, what difference does it make if we make it to 96 or
right.
99, right?
Right. So no matter where you are in life, just start somewhere. Eating a little healthier, moving a little more, go out in nature, get those social connections, get good sleep. These are all very, very important.
Absolutely. That is a great prescription. This book is another prescription we're giving you today, folks, because it'll make you believe in faith again. It'll help you find resilience in hard times, and it'll help you with whatever challenge you might be going through right now or in the
Right.
future. The name of the book is My COVID-19 Diary, Practical Tips and Scriptures for Improbable Times. And all of the times we have today are improbable. And these tips are from an American doctor, Dr. Wee. And it is a powerful testament to faith, resilience, and healing in the face of unimaginable loss. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much, Logan. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate your time, your insights, and your great effervescence. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.